Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Let's learn together. So, as you are following along with my series of server 2022, as you know that in last video, if you're following along with me, I've shown how to install a web server ISS role on a member servers along with the load balancing feature. And then I've shown you guys how to load balance a website. And then we tested it with a failover. If you are not aware about that video, I'll put the link in description so you can watch it. It's really important so you understand the concept of network load balancing feature in server 2022 and how it's done. So I have quite good explained it in the previous video. So it's the continuity of that video. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys like how we can publish a website IIS web server from our home computer, like your home LAN environment or your VM environment, to the real world, to the outside world. So mostly you see the videos and people show it how it's accessed within the LAN, but I'm going to show you how you guys can access it across the internet or from somewhere else. I mean, you can access it from anywhere in the world. So let me tell you something else, that nobody has shown these videos on a YouTube channel till now date. Even if you go and search for this topic, you won't get any video that they explain you how it's done. They just make video and they just publish it, leaving all you guys wondering how he has done it, what was the requirement, and mostly who follow them blindly, they fail in their lab. So I bet you if you watch it from the start till end, you will understand it how it's done. So again, I would say that in order to understand the lab concept, you must go through my previous video. It's linked to that video, so it's really important. Okay, so let's start with the prerequisite of this lab. Have to relate it with the previous video. So first thing really important is that you must have a valid domain, like you must have purchased it, not like your local domain that you create for your testing purpose, for example xyz.com, or you just put like demo.com. They are local domain, they are not published over the internet. So you need to have a registered domain that you have purchased it, and make sure that it gives you the panel where the DNS services are, so you can play around with them. So if you have that domain, you need to put certain entries into DNS. Like for example, you have to put your www, as an A record, and you have to link it with your public IP. And the other thing is, besides the domain, you must have a public IP. So when you have a public IP, public static IP, and then you have a purchase domain, so in domain all you need to put entries like www and put the field value as your public IP that you have. And then you can put again www with your subdomain. For example, if you want to make like my site dot that your registered domain.com, so you have to put www dot your subdomain and again link it to your public IP. That's I'm talking about the DNS, online DNS panel. And lastly, what you need to do is you have to put your CNAME record, and that you have to link it directly to your domain. So CNAME record, you will select it, you will put it value as a www, and it will link towards or go towards your domain that you have purchased. All right. And again, you must have a public IP like I explained. Third thing really important is that you must have access to your home router, the Wi-Fi router or LAN router, whatever you have at your home. And then you have to put port forwarding on it, like you must put port 80 and port 443, and you have to assign an IP. That IP is going to be of the load balancer. So again, if these terms are confusing to you, you must and you should watch my previous video in which I have explained all these terms. So if you go through it, then it's really easy for you to understand these terms. So on your home router, that's the third step, you will allow port 18443 and you will assign it to your load balancer IP. And then in fourth step, since you are installing the roles, web server role and load balancer role on your both member server, so you must put a firewall entries like port 18443 on your member server. In my case, I have one domain, two member servers and one client. So these two member servers are holding both the load balancing role as well as IaaS web services role. So that's installed in it. So beside that, I have made a firewall rule and I've assigned these ports as allowed ports both in inbound and outbound. And the last thing, for like once we are able to all do that, we need to access the website, and by default it will be accessed over HTTP, which is insecure and will throw you an error. So I will show you how you can encrypt your website and how you can easily access it without any error. And for that you need to install a tool that's called Let's Encrypt by Acme. You can simply Google it. You can just type like Acme encrypt tool for ISS web server on Google and you can get it. It's really easy. You all guys can do it if you try. And besides that, on our local DNS, on the domain controller, we need to have entries for the load balancer, because sites will be accessed by the load balancer name extension. For example, www.myloadbalancer.mylocaldomain, I mean the domain I have purchased .com, and the website will be accessed. So you must have all these prerequisites for it. Now if I show you my lab here, I have one domain controller and I have one member server, member server by the name web1, then I have another member server by the name web2, and then I have a client computer. So on member server 1, I have installed both IaaS and load balancing role. Let me show you. See, it just installed. I have done nothing else, and that's a load balancer. And same is the case with my member server 2, which is web2, and I've done the same. I simply install IaaS and load balancing role. As you can see, it's IaaS services manager role, and then you can see the load balancing. I have done nothing. All right, so that's the main agenda of the lab. So let's try, after installing the ISS role, if I open up a browser and I type, for example, here http, sorry, so that's the default website that we will see after installing the IIS role. And the same if I do on member server 2, I will see the same website. So I'll put some template from my previous video. You can see where you can get a free template from Google, and you can put on your member server. Like I have put this sparing free website template. So what I will do, I'll open up the main root folder of the IIS, which is in C drive, init pub, go to www.root, and these are the basic default page. So select them all, delete them. I've already explained them in my previous video, so you must watch it. From here, I'll just select the content and put it in this main root folder. The same I'm going to do with my member server 2. Go to C drive, init pub folder, www.root folder, select the existing both pages, delete them, and from the free template we downloaded, just simply open it, and inside the main folder copy every content and paste it in the root folder. So now we got two, but they have this, let me show you. If you go to view and file and extension, so that's main index page that opens up. So I'll just start with the member server 1, and I'll edit these pages so I can distinguish between them as they look the same. So I'll just open up with Notepad, choose another app, more apps, and there you can see Notepad. So just open it, and between the HTML tag and head tag, between them there is a space, and here you can write it's or like just for the reference so I can understand it's which site it is. I'll put site 1 and I'll simply save it. And on the member server 2 I'll do the same with the name site 2. So we need to open up another app, more apps, notepad, open it, and again between these two tags put site 2 so we can differentiate them. So that's the same. Again, I have explained that in previous video. Now what we need to do, we need to open up ISS Manager, Internet Information Services IIS Manager, open it. Expand it, go to site, that's the default site that shows the IIS default page. What you can do with it, you can simply click on it and stop it. So you stop the default page. Now just click here and you can, on sites you click and you just said ever add site. So you click on site, that's the default page that I've stopped, and I'll do the same on the other member server. Those steps are same. Click add a website. I'll just name it like you can give it any subdomain name, it's up to you. I just give it name like my sites, yeah. And then we have physical path. Go click, select the root folder. These are same steps on server 2 as well. So init pub folder and root. That's all you need to do. Select here, and here the name that you think your website will be accessed by. We will give it some name, but let me cancel it again. Okay, what I need to do, sorry I missed one step. Let me start it again. Right, and let me check here if I stopped it or not. If not, then it's fine. Site, yeah, it's okay. So after installing this role, we need to configure the load balancer. So let me go here and open up a network load balancer. That's very simple. Again, I have explained in previous video. I'll go quick with it. I'll just add 2 member servers in it. All the steps in this video I've explained in my previous video, so I'll go quickly with it. It'll take a little time. Again guys, for the recalling, I have explained each and every step in my previous video, so you must watch it. I'm not going to explain it again here. So if you watch my previous video, you will understand how it's all done, how the nodes are added. So I'll go quick here because my main aim is to show you guys the main objective. So add host and add the other member server. So I have both members added here. So once you install it on one node, that becomes primary, and the same installed on this. If you open up a network load balancer, you will see the same. It'll take a little 1 to maybe 10-15 seconds to come up. Okay, I'll minimize it. Now I'll open up what I was trying to do. So here I'll just stop this current website, the default one. So it's right click, new website. I'll just give it a name, server name for example. This member server is by the name web01, so I'll put web01. I'll go to root folder and simply select the root folder. And here I'll just give it a full name. That's name that I'll access my website from the LAN and across the internet. So I'll just name it like .my site. This my site is basically a load balancer name. That's my purchase domain, right? And let it be on inside. It'll select by itself, so no problem with that. Till this step, click OK. So there we got the website. And the same I'll do now on member server. Since the load balancing role is automatically installed on this server, I have added it. So all I need to open up the IIS manager, simply start the existing website, add a website, just name it the web server 2 because that's the name of this member server. You can name it anything, but I'm just keeping it same. So browse again, you go to root, select, that's it, just name it. Again the name will be same, since it's load balancing, so the name should be same. And leave everything as default, click OK. There we go. So now we have linked these both sides running on it with the web load balancer name, but it won't be accessible. Let me show you. That's my client computer. It's a domain joined computer. Let me just put it here, a website name. Sites dot as you can see, it's not opening up. It will take time and it will throw an error because I haven't done anything in a DNS of a domain. So what I need to go, you see, it says it can be reached. And the only reason is that we need to fix up the DNS for it. So that's my DNS on my main primary domain controller. Here you can see I have two member servers, one domain controller, one client. So I'll quickly add a host record. Here I need to put my load balancer name because my website will be accessed from it. So it's my site, and I will give it the name or the IP I've selected. Again, everything has been explained in my previous video till these steps. So, and I'll select create a associate pointer record. So click it, okay. Now here, since it's open, I'll give it www.mysites as well, because that's how my site will be accessed. And again, I'll give it the same IP. Click it, right, done. Now if I go on the client and I hit refresh, there you can see it loaded my site 1. So till this part we have just halfly done, okay. And besides that, let me show you the firewall rule. If I open up a firewall on my member server, it's inbound. If you go to advanced security setting, I've created an IIS rule inbound. Similarly, I've created a rule outbound to allow port 80 and 443, and the same has been done on server 2 as well. For inbound and outbound, I have rules. Okay, so till this point we are good. Now what we need to do, like I said, you need to go to your DNS panel, the domain that you have purchased, and you have to put some entries in it. So let me do it and I'll show you. Just give me a second. Yeah, so that's my panel. I've hidden the IP because it's a confidential IP. But anyways, I have shown you how it looks like. So there is a record that I have put with my site's name. That's my load balancer name. That's my public IP. And similarly, I put another host record with www my site and again public IP. The same I've done on my local DNS. Besides that, you have a CNAME record with www and that points towards your purchase domain. So that's all you have to do. And then on your router, you have to assign the ports, like I said, 443 and port 80 in port forwarding and direct it to your load balancer IP. So that's the part that you have to do on your domain registered DNS center as well as on your home router. So after doing that, if you look at the agenda guide, you have done with mostly parts. Now we need to run this encrypt tool. You can read from here, you can pause it, you can read it. So that tool has been, I have downloaded from the internet and put it in my both member server C drives. These are the Acme tools, and I have done this with this server as well. You can simply go from Google, download it and put it on your member server C drive. So I have put it like that. Okay, so now I need to run it. How you gonna run it? Let me show you. You will open up the control panel. You will go to your C drive. Now you'll go towards that directory. If I dir, these are the files. In order to run it, you have to run the wascs.exe. So, right, click enter. Start it there. You have to select these options. I'll go with N. Again, you have to select, it says site 2, say OK. It's typical binding, select A. After selecting A, it's saying that it'll give you option. It's very simple. You like, it says Y with steric, so you have to select Y. If it shows N with steric, you have to select that. So it's quite self-explanatory. If you look at them, it will give you option and you will continue with it. So I'll select one. Just a second. If you keep clicking on it, it will give you other options as well. Here it says select N, like it says, so I'll click N. Then it again asking me, so it's a quite question here. It's self-explanatory. All you have to select N or Y or numbers. So all you have to look at it, read it and follow it. Then it's asking for the email for notifications, so provide your email address here. So after running it, you will come up with this thing. It says that everything has been done successfully. So it means that the certificate has been installed, right? It's just member server 1. So I'll quit it. Quit. So now we need to do the same on member server 2. Again, we need to open the CMD. Go to your root directory C. We need to go to folder. Now we need to run. Again, the same options. You have to select A. Similarly, I have done in the previous video, and it will install the certificate for you. just simply click yes. Where it says with the star, where it says with no, simply click N, or 1 2 numbers like I have done so far. Yeah, so after running the command on this server as well, like I just explained before, you have to press 1 or 2. It's self-explanatory. All you have to press where it says with star yes or no. You have to apply that, and finally you will come up with something like this. So when this screen appears, all you need to hit quit. That's it. So if we look at our web server 2 and we check the browsing or binding, let me where is it, let's check binding. Yes, so here you can see that originally that's the website local address, that's from the load balancer, and these two SSL encrypted sets are generated through Acme tool for this site. So just close it. There we go. Now I'll just open up, that's my original website that was not secure. Now I will access this website using https colon my site, and the name appears. Click here, and there you can see the site is coming up with secure connection. So it's validated, and the same if I do it here on this server as well. That's member server 1, and I type https colon and it was the name, I guess, my site, hit enter. There you go. So right now you can see it's load balancing. On this member server it's opening site 2, and on this member it's opening site 1, and it's over the internet. So now what we can do, I'll show you how the load balancing works. So I'll open up the load balancer manager. First time you open up, it throws this error, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. So here you can see. So we can down any site. Site 1 is running on web server 1. Site 2 is running on web server 2. So let's down 1. Right click on it, go to host control. Again, I have explained this in my previous video quite well. So I'll just stop it. So that's stopped. Now if I refresh the page, which shows site 1, which is running on web server site 1, and here it randomly opened it on site 2. So now both should appear on site 2. Okay, so let me refresh it. Maybe it's because of the cache. Let's clear up the cache. I'll put with https. Let's first close the cache. So we need to close all entries. So we don't have any entry left. Fair enough. Okay, let's type yes my site. Okay, and if I refresh it, let me check the load balancer. Host is stopped. Okay, let's open it again to verify. Where's load balancer? Okay, so we are running on site 2 at the moment. Convert. Okay, let's close the browser and reopen it. Okay, so 2, close the browser, reopen it. site 2. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah, so it's basically when we down one node in server manager, basically IIS is still running on this web server. So when you open it, the page, it's just detecting it locally. That's why it's showing the site 1. Or when we come here, since not hosting the site 1, it's showing us. So the better to try it, we go to the client computer, and here if we type the website, from the outer side it should only show the site 2. So yeah, so it will only show me site 2, because here I can see site 1 because it's local to it, and it's maybe because of the cache reason. But when I tried or from the other computer or from the 5G mobile internet, and it was only showing the site 1. So even for the confirmation, we can check it over the Google as well. If we just go to Google and check browse website from another country, if we can just select this Copica website. In here, if I put my website, it's just for the demonstration purpose, so you guys can see how it looks like. And if I go to Go, here you can see, and if I click here, it's showing the site 2, site 2, site 2. Let me click here, and here you can see the site 2. Like I said, since site 1 is down, that's why I downed it from the load. So that's how you host basically. And guys, that's the only video I would say on the YouTube that is showing you how it's actually done, because there are a lot of videos and nobody is showing how it's done. They even don't share the knowledge. So all they left you with, keep on wondering what happened in the back scene, what he has done before that. So I just streamline all these steps for you and to show you guys how you actually host a website from your whole computer or even a VM with the prerequisites that you need. And at the end, I just demonstrated you how it looks like when you do the load balancing and you imagine your one node fails. And that's why we use the load balancing, because we host the same application over it, not a different one. So I have just edited site 1 and site 2 just for the demonstration to see. So when the failover happens, we know which side or which node is serving. And then right now, from the load balancer point of view, I just downed the load balancer node 1, which was hosting the site 1. So right now we're just seeing the site 2. Even if I click on any of this side, I've opened from the third party, and if I click here, then you see it's site 2. Because if I show you again, in the load balancer, I have down my node 1, and that's why you are able to see the site 2. Here you can see web01, which is hosting the site 1, and that's web host 2. So guys, that's how it's all done. I hope you like this video, and if you like, please help me growing this channel by liking, sharing, subscribing to my channel. Leave me comments if you learn something new for it, so I can get encouragement and come up with some new stuff. So I hope you like this informative video, and thank you for watching. See you again with new stuff. Thank you.